So are we going to Syria? I would say, yeah. I would say that with what we have going on, I asked the team to do research. By the way, our new Washington News Bureau opened today with 15 new Washington-only journalists, and we are thrilled to have them. And we will be officially going online with our new studios in Washington, D.C. here soon. Thank you so much for your support of The Blaze. But I asked our journalist on The Blaze this weekend, I want you to find out exactly what's going on in Jordan and in Turkey. We are doing we are shipping Patriot missile batteries. We have boots on the ground. We are... To me, and we'll find out tonight, I'm having the staff continue. They gave me an update this morning, and I have them continue to do some work, and I should have the experts ready to go by 5 o'clock today to tell me how unusual this is to have this kind of buildup for something that is very, very small. We're going to be throwing Stay Puft marshmallows out the windows. We're not going to hurt them at all. It doesn't sound like this at all. It sounds like we are gearing for real boots-on-the-ground war. And I don't think that's what America is planning on, but that's exactly what our government is planning on. I think. I mean, let me just go through some montages here of the president and his policies. Cut 458. Here he is on the red line.
Very clear to the Assad regime, but also to other players on the ground that a red line for us is we start seeing a whole bunch of chemical weapons moving around or being utilized. That would change my calculus. When I said that the use of chemical weapons would be a game changer, that wasn't a position unique to the United States, and it shouldn't have been a surprise.
Some have tried to suggest that the debate we're having today is about President Obama's red line. This debate is about the world's red line. It's about humanity's red line.
I didn't set a red line. The world set a red line.
Okay,
that is amazing.
That's amazing. Okay, but wait, there's more. If you want to know whether or not we are sending troops over and we are putting boots on the ground and we are installing Patriot missile sites and we are arming the rebels right now, that we are now gearing for the war that I said would be insanity 6 or maybe 8 years ago, and that is a war with Iran. That is exactly what we are getting ourselves into. Here he is. If you want to know exactly what our president means, all you have to do is listen to him and take him at his word. You heard him about the red line. He drew a red line and then said, I didn't draw a red line. How about timing?
My friends, it matters here if nothing is done. It matters if the world speaks out in condemnation, and then nothing happens.
Our capacity to execute this mission is not time sensitive. It will be effective tomorrow, or next week, or 1 month from now. And I'm prepared to give that order.
The president believes that the United States of America, for a decision like this, is stronger when you have the time to be able to have the support of the United States Congress and obviously the support of the American people through them. If we don't confront this now, I promise the people of France and Europe and Americans, we're going to see this issue grow.
There was no expectation that this would be, that Congress would be finished with its deliberations over the next week or so.
They can't agree with each other, and they can't agree with their own statements.
But the size of attack,
they can get together
on the size of the attack. What are we planning on the size of the attack?
Our action would be designed to be limited in duration and scope.
What Assad feels in terms of our response will not be a pinprick. He will know it when it happens.
Limited military action will not be designed to solve the entire Syria problem.
That is exactly what we're talking about doing. Unbelievably small, limited kind of effort.
The United States military doesn't do pinpricks. Jeez. Even a limited strike will send a message to Assad that no other nation can deliver.
Just amazing.
Okay, so all right, we got it. But diplomacy, that's the route, and they can get together on diplomacy.
We'll keep the pressure on a Syrian regime that has murdered its own people.
and support opposition leaders that respect the rights of every Syrian.
I personally called the foreign minister of Syria and I said to him, if, as you say, your nation has nothing to hide, then let the United Nations in immediately. Instead, for 4 days, they shelled the neighborhood in order to destroy evidence. He could turn over every single bit of his chemical weapons to the international community in the next week. Turn it over, all of it, without delay, and allow a full and total accounting for that. But he isn't about to do it, and it can't be done, obviously.
President Obama has consistently demonstrated his commitment to multilateral diplomacy. He would much prefer the backing of the United Nations Security Council to uphold the international ban against the use of chemical weapons. But let's be realistic.
Okay.
It's just not going to happen now.
Okay.
Okay, so he's got that. He'll go it alone. I thought that's what he was against, but why go back into his record and see what he campaigned on?
No, remember when he said we should go into Iraq regardless of how many other nations are with us. We just need to do the
we
right
just
thing.
Need to do the right thing.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Uh-huh.
Luckily, there is somebody starting to mock him. SCTV is now beginning to mock the president. I think this is the first time I've seen anyone who is not typical in, it's not a conservative group that is mocking. Listen to this job on mocking the president in World War III.
I'm Steve.
I'm Irene. I'm Lisa.
My name is Tom. I'm a graphic designer,
College freshman. Stay-at-home mom with a full-time job.
Scholar on social policy and a barista.
and I'm just like you.
I'm an Obama supporter.
I support President Obama.
But the president needs your help.
Our president can't launch into another war without you. And remember, when we voted for him in 2008 and 2012, we promised to support him no matter what.
Together, we can do it.
That's why we here at the Americans for Whatever Barack Obama Wants, Did You Know He's Friends with Jay-Z, have launched a Kickstarter campaign to fund World War III.
And America is dead-ass broke. So our goal is to raise $1.6 trillion on behalf of the U.S. government.
That's where you come in.
Even a small donation would make all the difference.
What is the World War III
World War
project?
III is a very important, very progressive war that Obama tells me is very important. So it must be.
When I first saw the president speak in 2008 in a YouTube clip posted to my Facebook page, I knew he was going to be right all the time. So I support World War III and IV and any moon war the president may want to start.
I mean, there is no way that he or the cabal of corporate interests, spy agencies, and shadow bankers that tell him what to do would ever mislead us.
How can I donate?
The $1.6 trillion that we raise will help create a war that truly puts the liberal in neoliberal. There will be millions of troops, thousands of organic grass-fed bombs, hybrid Prius tanks, rockets controlled by iPads, and drones that play the Lumineers while they attack.
World War III is not going to be like those other Republican wars fought on just 1% of the world. This war is going to be fought in 99% of the world.
It'll be everywhere. Russia, China, Africa, Cincinnati, your favorite brunch spot, the one with those kick-ass ranchero breakfast burritos.
Everywhere. World War III will also be the most social media focused war ever. It'll be all over Twitter, Facebook, Vine, Pinterest, and whatever eventually replaces Pinterest. And I mean, just think of all the hilarious gifs we can make of cats reacting to their owners' homes being obliterated.
Lots of shock, but tons of aw.
And come on, guys, how good will Michelle's arms look in sleeveless army fatigues?
Good point. Good point. But what's in it for you?
We have a lot of great rewards for our donors. If you donate $10 to the World War III project, you'll get a shout out on social media.
Hashtag thank you.
A $25 donation will get you a piece of rubble from a war-torn Middle Eastern country kissed by Senator Lindsey Graham.
A $100 donation gets you a day pass to leave your local refugee camp.
You'll probably end up in a refugee camp, but it'll have free Wi-Fi.
And a $10 million donation gets you your own senator for a year.
So please, help us reach our goal of $1.6 trillion so we can make World War III a reality. Why? Because Obama.
Because Obama.
Because Obama.
What?
And then a lot of confused faces at the end here. Just smiling. That's brilliant.
I mean, when's the last
brilliant.
time you saw this?
Never.
Never. You have to go back to the Bush
administration.
You have to go back to Bush.
Yeah.
That is Bush. You know, as I was listening to this, the last time we had a president this progressive was Lyndon Johnson. Look at the time periods that we have had progressive presidents. The first real progressive president that we had that was this progressive was Woodrow Wilson. We have World War I.
Mm-hmm.
Then the next time we have a real progressive president is FDR, World War II. The next time we have a real progressive president, we have the turmoil of the 1960s and Vietnam. And now this one. You think we're going to walk away with this one without, I mean, I hope. I mean, we had a progressive president, and I know Republicans don't like to hear this, but he was a globalist and a progressive, George W. Bush. He was. Just like, you know, the Hoover family yells at me all the time. Herbert Hoover was not a progressive. Yes, he was. Yes, he was. He believed in big government projects. He was a progressive. Same thing with George W. Bush. Bush is just our Hoover. And, you know, it's not going to change. History is repeating itself. And I'm gravely concerned about what we are doing in Syria. And without the people, there's no support for this. There's no support for this.
It's good to know that because we'll probably end up in a refugee camp, there will be free Wi-Fi there, though.
Yeah,
I mean, I take solace in that.
No. And we'll be able to get some real news, too, without commercials and without people with different...
You'll be able to get Al Jazeera on your iPad. So that'll be good.
As well. There's a couple of other